Good morning, American Jiu-Jitsu family. Today we are doing NIDAN black belt, which is second degree black belt, and we're doing tape 5, okay? Today's topic is going to be a continuation of tape 4, which is Kanogiashi, which is a very traditional technique that's very similar to Shodan, but it's just a different terminology and name for different applications. So today we're going to take the Kanogiashi into the self-defense category. Every day on Facebook group page, American Jiu-Jitsu LI, we post up one video at a time. And then on American Jiu-Jitsu LI YouTube, the whole library is there of all of our system. And then on AJJCenters.com is a whole listing of every Zoom class that we have. We have classes 7 days a week. We have the Zoom codes right there on the website, and you will need a password. So if you need a password, you can do one of two things. You could either email me at OSenseiJoe@gmail.com and identify who you are, and I'll give you the code or the password to get in, or just reach out to another one of the students that have been attending these classes, and they would already have that password. All right, so today again, we're gonna make this tape on Kanogiashis from self-defense. What's nice about American Jiu-Jitsu is the combative style. We're not a grappling style, we're not a kick punch style, we're a combative style. So what that means is whatever it takes, fork in the person's eye or whatever it might be, to defend yourself into a combative situation is what we're all about. So that means putting a person into a submission hold, because we do teach a lot of law enforcement, or going to the extreme. So when you watch a technique, as of today, what we're watching, it's not a technique that we're going to use in a situation where we're worried about our life or death. This is a situation where we're at second degree black belt, we feel pretty good in control of ourselves, and we're submitting the person without having to take their nose and put it on the other side of the body. But in the same breath, any one of these techniques could be changed into a combative scenario just like this. Like I always say, it's like having your foot on the gas, and we can go fast or we can go slow. Today we're going a little bit slower, but that doesn't mean there's any less threshold to pain with this technique, all right? These videos are an overview of our technique. They're not technical training. You're gonna need to come to the dojo to get the technical trainings. I can't answer any of your questions right now, but I do know that soon we will be reopened. We're taking all these safety precautions to reopen properly with social distancing in mind. And of course, the cleanliness of the studio has always been there, but even so now, maybe a little bit more. We have Shihan Kathy and Shihan Billy with me, who's been helping me with these videos, and I'm so appreciative of that. Shihan Kathy and Billy live together. They're a married couple. I live as a single person, so we do practice our social distancing, even here in the dojo. And when you guys come back, you're going to see a bunch of new rules in place to make sure that we ensure your health and your safety when coming back here. Okay, so today we're going to work on, like I said, Kanogiashi from self-defense. Okay, so the first one is going to be a cross wrist grab, which we kind of twist in a bunch of different things with this one. So as we do thumb to the nose, we have a NIDAN, which we taught you at second degree, but then we're going to take that NIDAN and we call this the domino effect. So we could put the person right down with that NIDAN, or we could come over the top and put the person in with what we call a wakigatami, using that armpit to restrict the arm, or we can roll and put this person into this Kanogiashi, because maybe at this point we're in law enforcement and we want to cuff the person. So it's it definitely contains the wrist in a very close quarter combination. So when you see Shihan Billy do it, you'll see him first stop at the NIDAN, then he'll stop at the waki, and then he'll put the end result technique of what we're calling is the Kanogiashi. Let's do that first one, please. So he moves to the side, gets away from the free hand, notice his hand is up, he's got a NIDAN. He comes over the top with the elbow, bang, he's got a wakigatami, and now he slides in to that Kanogiashi and has the person totally restricted right there perfectly. Perfect. Okay. Next technique is going to be a straight wrist grab, and what happens here with the straight wrist grab is he's going to do the Kanogiashi in what we call a hakaru style. So hakaru is one of the systems that I come from, my more traditional system, and it's more of a little bit of a traditional or classical technique, but again, it has all the restrictions that we want in a combative situation too, but it's where this technique was rooted from the hakaru system or the daiteru system, okay? So on the cross wrist grab, going to apply that atemi, right, to cancel out that free hand. He's going to come around with both hands. He's going to take, and he can bring her right down to the ground and submit it here perfectly. That's Kanogiashi from a straight wrist grab. These techniques are very similar because of how they are, they're all going after the wrist, like you just saw. So now we're going to do a double lapel grab, but now we're going to use a teigatami to bring it around. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we could do the hakaru on this one too, but I always try to mix and match and show you different variations, which means that they can be used this way and this way, but from a systematic standpoint, when I call it a certain way, I expect it to be done a certain way. Just like I always say about learning your alphabets, if they just said, here's 26 letters, and we're going to learn them however you want to learn them, that wouldn't be good. A, B, C, and then belt system is the same way. So this is double lapel grab. We're going to be bringing some antemis into it, especially with the foot, and then we're going to do the kanoa gyashi into teigatami into kanoa gyashi. All right, go ahead. Use that foot atemi, come around. There's the tei right there, and there's the kanoa gyashi right there. Okay. Now, like I said, with the single hand lapel grab, now we're going to put the hakaru one. So you see how we're mixing and matching, but we're just using one here and one there. So now a person grabs with a single, he attempts to get rid of that free hand, comes around and goes right back to the traditional kanoa gyashi and brings it right down to the ground. Perfect. With a front finger choke, what we're going to do here is we're going to spear right to the throat, which is going to loosen that choke, that technique up, and then we're going to use that hakaru kanoa gyashi right from there. Bang, strikes to the throat. See how he peels the hand, brings it right down. Kanoa gyashi, okay? Now with a forearm choke, he's going to tuck his chin like he would always, maybe give a little one roundhouse elbow or a rear high elbow strike just to kind of check the person, but then feels in control. He's going to control the hand, what we call a beggar's hand, and then he's going to come around and do a hakaru kanoa gyashi. There's the technique. One little shot there. Notice how he puts the hand, comes around, and does call it the gyash. All right? That's okay. Another variation. The kanoa gyashi with the beggar's hand. Okay? From here, elbow strike there. Boom. There's the beggar's hand, comes around, and boom. Perfect. You got to understand with jiu-jitsu that every belt requirement, I require a different series of pins, a different series of combative jiu-jitsu, a different level of weapon defense or weapon usage. All right. So even when calling the techniques, what might come to the mind is what or how a person is grabbing you. So the beautiful part about this art is you can use so many variations. But when we try to put it together in a system-wise way for teaching reasons, we are a little strict about saying we want you to do it this way. This is also why the videos are such a wonderful thing, because they can allow you to check back on how it is that I want to see it. But even you will see that you can take that forearm choke and you could do an asotogari, you could do a NIDAN, you could do a muchi, you could do a kanoa gyashi, and some of you might say, I don't understand what you're saying, but for the people that are listening to this, that are at this appropriate rank, do understand what it is I'm saying. For the people who don't understand what I'm saying, come down as soon as we reopen up. Okay, so now the next technique is going to be rear finger choke. So he's still going to use some of the basic techniques. He's going to stomp on the person's foot, headbutt, and then he's going to come around and do that kanoa gyashi, okay? And when he does that kanoa gyashi, he's going to do that in that hakaru style. All right, so he's going to step on the foot, boom, headbutt. He's going to walk out that back door. From here, come around, and there's your kanoa gyashi. Perfect, okay? And again, I'll say it again, it's not the only technique that exists, but it's the one that's required right now. The next one is really kind of quick and nice. It's underhand bear hug, where you tap that atemi onto the back of the hand to make the person release, and you walk out, and bang, there's your kanoa gyashi. Boom, right there, walks out the front, and there's your kanoa gyashi. Perfect. The next technique is going to be a rear headlock. He's going to go right with it. Person's grabbing him in a rear headlock, but didn't get enough to clamp it down. He's going to walk out that back door, and there's your hakaru kanoa gyashi. Boom, he walks out that back door from here, and bang, and hit. Now again, because again, we are a combative type style, you must understand that as Kathy puts that headlock on, if all of a sudden she clamps down, he could just take an uppercut right to the person's groin, right? Boom, strike. So he feels in this technique that when she grabbed, it wasn't a life or death threat. It was that drunken friend who puts you into that headlock, who tried to submit you, and then you just went with them and said, no, you're not going to do that. Take your hands off me. All right? That's the beautiful part about American Jiu-Jitsu, that we don't have to extremely hurt somebody to submit somebody, and at the same time, we could if we choose to. All right, let's do a couple more techniques and we'll be finished with this category. Hammerlock, the person's pushing forward, he's just going to follow that momentum and do that Hakaru Kanoa Gyash, right? He's going to follow it from here, boom, and take it right down. Let's do it one more time because I was kind of standing in the camera. All right? So watch that one more time. Walks out the front door from here, boom, and brings it down Kanoa Gyash. Beautiful. All right, and the last one for this tape will be the rear double arm grab, okay? So on this one, he's gonna create the lead, he's gonna walk, and he's gonna do that Kanoa Gyash. From here, come around, there's your technique, and boom, right down. Perfect, okay? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, in this technique, you also could relate this one to the first one that we did, so he could go into the waki first. Let me just show that variation as well. So as the person's leading, when you turn, go into the waki first, then the Kanoa Gyash, right? From here, he wants to come in a little tighter, all right? And then he goes into the Kanoa Gyash right from there. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. That's perfect, perfect. All right, so this video was on Kanoa Gyash from self-defense, all right? The prior video was Kanoa Gyash from punching. At each category or each degree, we feature a new pin. At NIDAN, we already played the NIDAN pins, but this one we have an added bonus. We have with the Kanoa Gyashis, all right? These are, like I said, a lot of the control techniques that we have, and we will get to more of the combative techniques. I always try to end on a positive note. I do believe we have less days in front of us than we had behind us. In other words, behind us, we have months of time where I probably never even thought I would be making a second degree video, but some of my students are very happy that I am. And we're doing this to keep you moving forward. The most important thing is, the world's gonna open back up. You need to keep yourself busy. You need to keep your brain working. You need to have your routine. You need to get up, take your showers, have your exercise routine. Stay positive. Don't get caught up into the negativity. There's enough negativity in the world. What makes you different is that you step up and you say, listen, if you don't got something positive to say, I don't want to hear it at all. If this hasn't taught you anything, it should teach you that we only get so many days here and we got to value them. And we could either have each day be a negative day or we can have each day be a positive day. It's a simple philosophy of how you choose the glass being half full or half empty. I choose to live my life half full. That doesn't mean sometimes that life is sometimes discouraging and you can get upset or disappointed, but then you got to pull yourself up and you got to get yourself busy and you got to do what you got to do to put yourself in a frame of mind. Even if everybody around you is not positive, you have to remain positive. So stay home right now still, stay healthy, stay safe, watch your videos, practice your academics, kids, make sure you're doing your homework, make sure you're doing your routine. The sun's gonna come out, it's gonna be a beautiful day, and we're gonna be moving forward very, very quickly, all right? So again, American Jiu-Jitsu LI Facebook group page, American Jiu-Jitsu YouTube. If you need to reach me, OSenseiJoe@gmail.com, and the website is AJJCenters.com, which will give you all the information on our virtual dojo and all the codes that you need. Stay home, healthy, and safe. Again, thank you, Sean, Kathy, and Billy. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next tape.